How could I possibly forget? I just realized that I saw Nerve 2 days ago. Not yesterday, 2 days ago. And I had been wanting to see that movie for ever since I saw the trailer. I totally forgot that I didn't see it. Let me hold on. Let me back up and adjust and lift a little bit. There we go. Yeah. I'm gonna bring out just a little closer because my audio sucks. It really does. Can you hear me? I'm gonna move in a little bit, but I'm gonna back up at the same time, so I have some room. But god damn it, I totally forgot. I saw Nerve. I saw Nerve. So yeah, this is gonna be my review on that, and this is gonna be my thoughts. And overall, I enjoyed the shit out of Nerve. I mean, from start to finish, I really just was invested, and I could really just watch it and just enjoy it. I mean, there's not a lot to say with movies like this. I mean, it's a shorter movie. It's what, like an hour or 30 minutes. You know, most blockbusters are like what? Well, it's not a blockbuster, but most movies, like big movies, summer movies, are like 2.5 hours, 2:45. Like, that's a long time to keep an interest. And so I think it was better. My God, I'm sorry, I'm finagling with this right now, but I'm just, trying to get you a good ratio here, and keep myself in the shot as well. You know what I mean? But oh my god, I wasn't blown away by this movie, but I do like to support original movies. I have not seen, a movie like this. Well, I heard David Fincher's The Game is kind of like this, but I haven't seen it, so I wouldn't know. But I want to check that out now that I have seen this movie. I want to see how that was. But what I'm trying to say is I did thoroughly enjoy that movie. I mean, Emma Roberts, really good actor, really good actress, sorry. Dave Franco, really good actor. They even had some people that I didn't even think they were gonna have in this movie. I mean, the Fat Jewish is in this movie, and Machine Gun Kelly is in this movie. Two people I would never in a million years think would be in a movie. I mean, the Fat Jewish I just most recently discovered because he was on Ridiculousness, and he's hilarious. And so I'm like, huh. And when I saw that, it's that tattoo scene. It's in one of the trailers. Definitely, I think all of them, but in one of the trailers. Um, and it's that scene where he's like, "Oh, I'm just doing the Y and Daddy," and she goes, "What?" That's another thing. I'm going to spoil this movie. Basic plot, character moments, the ending, especially. I don't kind of like to do separate spoiler-free spoiler reviews. This is not how I am. I don't even watch spoiler-free reviews without seeing the movie first, because some reviewers can just spoil the basic plot, and if you don't know it from the trailers, then you don't know it from the trailers. But the trailers for this, I remember, gave away the basic plot, but not really some subplots that were there. Like her best friend that was in this movie, um, played beautifully by Emily Mead, I think her name is. If I'm butchering that, I'm sorry. But yeah, that's. Let me just before I move on, fair spoiler warning. I am going to spoil the shit out of this movie for you if you have not seen it yet. So just go see it. It's a great time. I recommend it. But I only say that because I'm gonna spoil basic stuff and the ending. So if you don't care about the basic plot elements, then by all means stick around. But at the end, I will give you a more in line analysis of the ending. So I will tell you then. But for the time being, let's do this. Uh, it's a really, decent put together movie. I mean, I like the camera angles from the computer and like the backwards writing that you saw on all the posters that you've seen really can reflect off of what, when the person's watching, the people recording on the phones, and like her when she's on the computer in the beginning. Like, I think the opening to this movie was really good. Um, but overall, this movie is about the main girl, V, played by Emma Roberts, who is kind of that, more contained. I'm just a, under the radar person, and her friend Sydney, played by Emily Mead. I think it's Emily. Emily, I think that's her name. She's more the daredevil, and she plays this game called Nerve that's in Truth or Dare or Without the Dare, and you can record it and win money by completing dares. Y'all saw the trailers, y'all know what it's all about. She goes and she plays it, the stick of mud, she plays it, says, I'm gonna be more adventurous and I'm gonna play it. She plays it, runs into Dave Franco, the Watchers like them together, they go and do this big adventure, and then things twist and turn by the middle to the end, and you're like, oh, what is this about? Trust me, it's a really good disposable thriller. If you want to go, like, say you want to go to a movie and you're like, I don't know what to see, like, I know My Theater Finding Dory's still out, but I saw that, and I'm like, I saw that, I don't want to see that, and you go and you see Nerve, and you're like, yeah, let's go see Nerve. Like, that's just what, I think that's what this movie's gonna be. I think it's gonna make money solely because it's gonna be like, let's go see that movie. You know what I mean? And that's totally fine with me. I saw it, I sat down, I had my popcorn, my drink, way too big. Mind you, it was really way too big. The theater drinks, ridiculous, but it was $1 more, and it didn't matter. Not the point. Not the point. Another video for another day. Another video for another day. But what was I saying? Yeah, I sat down, I looked in this movie, I went late, there was not a lot of people in this theater, so me and my friend, we saw it, and we liked it. One thing that I can say about this movie, it was kind of like one of those movies that you watch with your friends, and you watch it, and as you watch it, even though you guys have never seen it, and you really should be not talking and actually paying attention to what they're saying and what's going on, it's so like that, it's so easy to follow that everyone in my theater was pretty much making comments every 5 seconds. It was really weird, but I like that. That's so cool. Like, two girls sitting next to me were actually movie workers. It was like 11 o'clock. They were actually movie workers, like, in that theater. They were the employees watching the movie, and they were commenting. They were laughing. I think they were making jokes, but I'm sure they've seen that movie before, so who knows. But there was someone behind me, and usually I don't like this. Usually I hate this. I hate when people talk in movies, but that's just, I guess it depends on what movie you get. There was someone behind me who reminds me of my friend Marvin. And he does YouTube videos too. I want to find his link. He does it with my sister, and I want to see if I can plug them sometimes. I want to be making videos with them soon too, just because, But he reminded me of my friend Marvin, who is very eccentric and loud, and he's just awesome with everything he says. So this guy was making comments to the movie that were just hilarious. They were cracking me and my friend up, people in the audience. There was some guy way in front of us that, like, at one point just laughed at a really dumb joke that no one else laughed at besides him. And it just made it hilarious. And I like that movie brought that out of people. Overall, I think the movie is great. I think it wrapped up pretty nice. It kind of looked like it left an opening for a sequel, but I think that's just because it just tries to leave openings for sequels. I mean, who knows? If it makes enough money, you can get a sequel. So they probably left it up to interpretation to see. But overall, it wraps up nicely. It goes 1, 2, 3. Now, some critics and reviewers have said if you give this movie a second of thought, you're not going to understand it. It's not going to make any sense. But really, it's overall fine. I mean, when they say police should shut down this game because of what's going on and what's happening, you think, well, yeah, but they kind of explain it in the movie. Every person who logs on is a different interface, and that's really hard to shut down completely, but especially because you don't know who's behind it, who you're going to arrest. I mean, you could arrest the people committing the crimes. That could definitely stop players, but the way they stop it in this movie is very nice, and that's another thing I'm about to say. I am going to talk about the ending. Let me just get close. Let me get close to you. Don't get scared. Spoiler alert. I'm going to talk about the ending. Okay? Cool? Yeah. Okay. You're gone? They're gone? Okay, cool. So, the ending of this movie is crazy and complicated. Emma Roberts becomes this prisoner of the game because she tries to rat them out to the cops, so they kidnap her, and Machine Gun Kelly's character is this huge player, so he kidnaps her for points or money or whatever to become the finals. Dave Franco and Machine Gun Kelly's characters are the prisoners because of what happened last year, and that kid died. Excuse me. So at the end, they give them, the what's the word? God Come on, give it to me. Give it to me. The guns. There you go. I can't think. They give them the guns to try to shoot each other, and they got to kill each other to, get the points and all that, or to win. What am I thinking? To win. I saw this movie 2 days ago. It's not fresh in my mind. But yeah, then Machine Gun Kelly comes, and he's like, "Oh, shoot her," and everyone's rioting, and then there's the whole hacking. It's a lot of stuff going on at once, but it was pretty pulsing. Not as pulsing as I wanted it to be, but it was pulsing. As Machine Gun Kelly ends up shooting her, and she is dead. You know what I mean? She was a blank. She didn't really die. It was fake blood. Yada yada yada. And they end up living happily ever after. That's good. And right at the end, where it shows that person recording them on their phone, makes me think that I think it's that they're trying to be like, oh, that's someone maybe on the other side. Maybe it's someone that is watching them, who knows? Or it's just some coming full circle with the whole we recorded on the phones thing. Who knows? But that is it. That's my end of my analysis, my review. I hope y'all liked it. Overall, I'm going to give this movie a solid B+. I don't like grades because I just enjoy movies to enjoy movies, but if I had to give it a grade, it'd be a B+. It has some deviating moments, but it's funny in the first half. Takes a solid left turn after her friend does that nerve-wracking ladder scene. After she bails, that movie takes a complete left turn into crazy territory. And then that crazy scene alone with Dave Franco on the crane with one hand, I was done. My hands were sweating. I was on the edge of my seat. It was a good movie. And yeah, solid B+ is pretty generous. So, post your comments down below. Let me know what y'all thought about Nerve. If you saw it, if you want to see it, I recommend it. Like I said, Suicide Squad review coming up this Saturday, or this Friday night. I'm pretty sure because I'm seeing it early. Yeah, I'm sorry I bombarded you with 2 videos today, but I didn't put anything up anyway. So, with that said, I'm going to see y'all in the next one.